game, we are going to be playing World Lords. I wasn't expecting to get this key, but they were gracious enough to give me the key that I applied for. It is for their beta, and I believe today might be the last day for the beta, so we're going to check it out. So it's a dark fantasy roguelike where you play as the devil, lead famous evil geniuses through events and turn-based fights, and spread terror and corruption. Create synergies between your disciples, use your powers, and take revenge on those miserable demon hunters. It's by Liquier Studios, Cyanide Studio, and published by Nacon. It's got full controller support. I was gonna say full support controller, and I was like, that's not it at all. It's a single player game, and it's supported in English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Spain, simplified Chinese, Japanese, Polish, Russian. Its interface is all that, but and it has all subtitles, but the audio is only in English. I don't know if that's going to change later on or not, but hey, at least they have all those already there. So we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna play it and see how we like it. I am very happy it has controller support because, you know, it's just some games are just like, oh, I don't want to play with my keyboard because sometimes it just ruins the experience. Sort of like us trying to play Abe's Odyssey. You can't see my face, but I'm doing the awkward smile. So without further ado, let's try this game out. Also, I should grab my phone and pull it up so I can see what you guys are saying. Oh, da da dum da dum. But yeah, I try and be very transparent with you guys when I'm given a code for a game or not. I'm just going to double check on the graphics. Gonna do that. And then we're gonna bring the sound down a bit, just because I find it gets a little bit too noisy sometimes. That actually might be too quiet. We'll tweak it as we go. So yeah.
Many moons ago, mortals rose up against me and chased me down. They were led by demon hunters, wretched beings incapable of seeing the beauty of a corrupted world.
I love this art style.
My creatures and demons gave everything they had in the fight, but it was not enough.
Damn you, demon hunters.
I was forced to leave the world of the living. Weakened, I returned to hell to survive. For years I consumed fresh souls to regain my power, but their numbers are fast diminishing. I cannot wait anymore. I must reclaim my rightful place. It is time to gather my forces once more. Those who signed a pact with me will do as I order. They will spread terror and corruption in my name. The time has come for my revenge.
Is it loud enough, babe?
Yep, perfect. I can hear everything.
Okay, good. Part of the reason why I was so drawn to this game when I applied to try and get the beta code was the art style. I was just like, wow, this is visually appealing to me on so many levels. I'm like, I really want to try it. So, I'm a sucker for beautiful games. Like, for those of you who don't know, I played The Unfinished Swan. I love that game. It was actually one of the first games I bought on my PlayStation 3. When I actually played it a lot. Yeah, it was one of the few games that I actually purchased. just because of the simplistic art style, but this art style, like, I love it. Like, it looks like a really cool little cartoon, you know? Welcome to your fortress. From here you can launch adventures from the map of the new world, read about your servants in the chart of disciples, and follow your progress on the altar of conquests.
I don't have many disciples left to send to the surface. My influence is a mere shadow of what it was before. I must assemble my followers.
Here you'll find everything you need to know about your disciples with whom you have sealed pacts, including combat characteristics, social characteristics, skills, and relics. Only unlocked disciples will show and can be selected for your members. Alright.
I don't have many disciples left to send to the surface. Dear Count Dracula, the centuries have dampened his rage.
So is this multiplayer or just single player?
Single.
His taste for the theatrical has produced a variety of bloody yet sophisticated spectacles that I never tire of watching.
Okay, let's see. The first of the vampires occupies a special place among the ranks of my disciples. None is feared and is revered, as when he was alive more than 400 million years ago, he walked along the earth with dinosaurs. No. When he was alive more than 400 years ago, Prince Vad Tepes ruled over Transylvania with cruelty. An astute strategist, he extended his influence and conquered numerous lands by the might of his sword. He gained the sobriquet? Babe, what's that word?
Which one? I'm behind you, remember?
Sobriquet? The one before Elf Impaler.
Hang on a second, let's have a look. First time, astute strategist extended his influence and conquered numerous lands by the might of his sword. He gained the sobriquet.
So I was saying it right? Sobriquet?
Sobriquet?
I'm sorry. I'm an uncultured swine. Don't know.
He gained the name
of Impaler. He gained the name of Impaler because of his favorite method of execution. His swift rise was brought to an abrupt halt when he was killed by his own men. Dun, dun, dun. How do I scroll? Oh, there we go. I just had to click on it. Even these hardened warriors could no longer put up with the sight of his executions. But evil is mortal. If Vlad's body did disappear for some time, he soon returned transformed and thirstier for blood than ever. Thus was born the first of vampires, Dracula, the only one able to transmit his dark gift through his own blood. His travels brought Dracula to the New World. He has long since adopted refined manners, but he remains the most powerful of the vampires and a formidable combatant. I went into Nightmare's voice, didn't I? Hello, everybody. How's it going?
The Headless Horseman.
Ooh, I have the
without
Headless
pause
Horseman.
decapitates the innocents who cross his path. A quest worthy of the legends of bygone days. What he doesn't know, of course, is that his head is here
thanks,
with
Sever.
me, in the heart of my realm. His epic is far from over.
Thank you for that severed cord. I'm so glad someone decided to help me out there. We learn new words every day, even if it's from games, you know? Okay, I forgot to turn that off. I need to sign out of my Steam. I don't know why it keeps logging me back in. If the Headless Horseman could recall the circumstances of his death, he would turn red with embarrassment. Fortunately, he no longer has a head. While alive, Larry, a veteran Irish soldier, only had one weak spot. Women. Of course. Whenever a damsel in distress crossed his path, he promised to take her wherever she desired. The woman spoke, and Larry listened, beguiled by the dulcet chimes of her voice. They entered the disguised graveyard, and she revealed her true identity. A headless specter. She decapitated Larry and left with the head separated from its brain. The body is somewhat disoriented when making a pact with me. He accepted an eternity of servitude in exchange for the opportunity to meet his assassin once more. He thought he would recover his head when he caught her. He set out about wandering the roads of the New World, angrily decapitating all those he met. The Headless Horseman has even forgotten his ridiculous first name, but he is an enthusiastic servant of mine, cutting off the heads of my enemies as he would that of his murderers. So apparently the Headless Horseman has a scare factor of 6, occultism 2, where Vlad has scare of 3, 4 occultism, temptation 5.
The Headless
He's
Horseman,
got 2, stealth 3, ruse 4. Ooh, we have Bloody Mary! Hey, are you gonna read the... Hey, read the thing
I don't have many disciples left to send to the surface.
Read about Bloody? Well, fine. Summon Bloody Mary 3 times while standing in front of a mirror, and she will come to kill all those occupants of the house. Why? Even she does not know. Mary was the daughter of a country doctor, too intelligent and independent. She was soon accused of witchcraft. I could, however, have attested to the fact that she did not serve me. On the day of her marriage, somebody poisoned her wine. Her father declared her dead. She was buried with her wedding ring and the finely crafted mirror that her husband had just given her. Her father had lied. His daughter only appeared to be dead. He wanted to free her at nightfall and allow her to flee from the village. When he returned to the cemetery, he discovered to his horror that Mary had awoken too early and suffocated in her grave. He called upon me and begged me to bring her back to life. In exchange, I took Mary's soul. Remembering nothing and very irate, she disappeared into her mirror. In the morning, there was nobody left to suspect that she was working for me. Alright. This map depicts the New World. The Demon Hunters put an end to your reign in the region 10 years ago. It's here that you'll choose missions for your disciples in their quest to avenge you. The further you progress in the game, the stronger your adversaries become, and the overall difficulty of the game increases. For the moment, your adversaries are weak, so take advantage of it and hit hard. Click here for your first mission.
Many years ago, I was banished from the terrestrial plane by Van Helsing and his demon hunters.
Goddamn Helsing.
Since then, I have reigned over hell while awaiting the hour of my return. But things are changing. The souls of the deceased no longer descend into hell. Have humans become more virtuous? Or is there a new force conspiring to usurp my power? I recall into service my disciples, powerful beings who once made a pact with me. They can move freely in this region called the New World, where I was undone by Van Helsing. They will find him and exact my revenge upon him.
Exact the revenge. You control a group of disciples and choose one to represent the group. You navigate from zone to zone by choosing your route on the map. You have to complete Mr. Coffee Cough. You have to complete the main activity in a zone before you can move on to the next. Oh, I gotta hold the A button.
Through the renewed link with my disciples, I become aware of the situation in the new world. The demon hunters have increased their hold on the population. They are everywhere, on the roads, in the villages, patrolling and imposing a summary justice. On the other hand, no one has heard of the 6 artifacts stolen from me by Van Helsing
Give me 2
during
seconds,
our
guys.
last confrontation. If he is using them, he does not boast of it. My attention is drawn towards a new religion. The Sanctua Lumen, as it is called, is increasing its hold on humans. My disciples decide to go to one of its sanctuaries in order to learn more.
Click on the map. Open the map to consult it. Map. The map shows zones and paths for 2 chapters. It also shows you the specific special. It also shows you the special effects and might affect the area zones during the gameplay. The first zone in each book is always a combat. Activate the info tips and navigate some of the zones to consult their details. Close the map to minimize it. Combat. Sticks for... Okay, so combat. Choose the combat tactics to eliminate your enemies and earn skills, reap souls, and impart terror. Visit Styx for Fountain to regenerate your diabolic essence or purge your disciples' negative traits. Choose a disciple to be the main actor in the event for a chance to improve their characteristics. Grim Reaper. Sell your souls to the Grim Reaper in exchange for skills and relics. Leave a skill with him and he'll increase its power before returning it to you at your next meeting. Book chapter. You order your disciples to come here as quickly as possible in order to continue this book. Combat. Obviously, it's self-explanatory. Event. Choose a disciple to be the main act. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty straightforward. Go to the sanctuary of Sanctua Lumen to investigate. Okay, so... Combat. Alright. Diabolical essence is your main resource. If you run out, you lose. So it's your health. Essence can be lost during combats or used to boost your influence over the world of mortals. Souls can be won during combat or events. They can be traded to the Grim Reaper to obtain skills, increase the rarity of skills you already have, or obtain relics. As you accumulate events and combats, the tower you inspire grows. Each increase produces a terror effect on the zones, and subsequent night gives you advantages. For every 4 increases, you move up a notch permanently, improving your chance to obtain a higher rarity skills and receive a relic. Just in time to launch your first combat. Launch. Select the approach to earn a combat skill at the end of combat. Alright.
Kill them all!
At the beginning of each turn, your enemies announce their actions they are going to launch. You have 5 action points to share among your disciples in order to thwart their attacks. Once you finish, your enemies play their announced actions. Then a new turn begins with your enemies' announcements of their intentions. Select Bloody Mary. Rainer.
What game are we playing?
Stabbing. Mirror Blade. Ooh. Oh my god, that was cute. All combatants have 2 gauges, 1 health, 1 physical, and 1 spiritual. Inflicting physical damage reduces the number of health points, while inflicting spiritual damage reduces the number of spiritual points. To defeat an enemy, you must reduce their health points or spiritual points to 0, then inflict the same type of damage one last time to finish them off. Now, do Dracula. Oh, I have 2 bleeding hearts. When you use a skill, you deplete its charge, and it can't be used again until it's been recharged. Each disciple possesses a recharge action that replenishes all of their skills. Recharge actions vary from disciple to disciple, or from one disciple to another. For example, some have bonus effects that change their cost. Okay, he's vulnerable. When an enemy is reduced to 0 health points or spiritual points, they don't die. You have to administer a death strike by inflicting damage on the same gauge. The disciples are also subject to vulnerability status, but they do not die when they receive a death blow. Instead, you consume diabolic essence to keep them alive so that they can complete their mission.
Now you see what happens to those who resist me. Simple mortal trinkets. You'd better find a use for them.
Each type of activity has its own set of specifications. At the end of each combat, you'll receive a reward depending on your choice at the time of approach. You will regularly have a choice of 3 elements during the reward phase. Choose one. Twist of Fate. Reduce independent attack by 2. Steal 2 times 2 to 3 HP. Burst of Anger inflicts 2 to 5 HP. I'll just do Twist of Fate, I think. Move to the next zone. This is a cute little game.
I sense many souls here. I must have them all.
Some zones have extra activity. Some zones have an extra activity. It is optional and can be carried out before or after the main activity. Main activity. Completing this activity unlocks access to the following zones. Oh my god, the art is just amazing. Reduce damage. There are several ways to reduce inflicted damage. One with skills that immediately diminish imminent damage, with statuses that protect your disciples or negatively affect your enemies. Oh, it wants me to select Mary. Mary is bloodthirsty, which it translates to physical skills that only attack the weakest adversaries. Mary also possesses a mirror that she places in front of the enemy of her choice when she recharges. Once her mirror is in place, all the skills she plays are reproduced on the mirror's target.
Who shall die tonight?
Lighthouse Horseman is a battle-hardened soldier who can take blows and dish them out. Gets reductions in damage and provocation status that allow him to redirect attacks to himself. When he suffers damage, his bitterness increases at a maximum. His bitterness enables him to launch an experiment mode with his skills. Certain effects allow you to apply the status to a character. These can have a number of charges or a duration in turns. If they have charges, they lose one charge each time they are triggered. If they have a duration, they can be launched several times as long as they're active. There are 6 status types: Enhancement, Protection, Cure, Maneuver, Control, and Weakness. A character can hold only one status of each type. If another status of the same type is applied, it replaces the first. If it is the same, its duration or number of charges increases.
The blade is sharpened to perfection.
Oh no. Dracula is a leader of his men and once was a bloodthirsty warrior. He has earned his longevity by being extremely cautious in potentially deadly situations. This experience has given him a number of skills that benefit his whole team, but he becomes vulnerable. The warrior reawakens and some of his skills become devastating.
I'm parched.
Let's get down to
Devil mode.
business.
The devil isn't held back by the same rules as mortals. He can cheat in the interface. This allows him to modify the health points and spiritual point gauges, refill skills, move statuses around. The only limit to his power is in the cost of diabolic essence. One of the devil powers allows you to move statuses between combatants. To do so, grab one of the combatant's statuses under its HP SSP gauges and drag it under the gauges of the combat you want to give it to. Gives the status to Dracula. Ah! The interface is a little wonky. Oh, got it. I'm trying to move it. Okay, so what the fuck did I do? I did it, and then why is it not doing it for me? Come on. I'm trying to get it to slide, but it's not. Oh my jeez. Why is it not? I'm grabbing it. Okay, what the shit? Because I'm grabbing it and putting it to 0. I just used the controller there, the mouse there, so it's easier. Select bleeding heart.
How dare you attack me, mortal?
When a disciple is vulnerable, about to suffer damage, the devil protects it out at the cost as dire pulver essence is inflicted. If a disciple is not vulnerable and about to suffer more damage than its current HP or SP, the damage so cost is cancelled. However, an attacking several times counts as many damage applications can consume essence. Finish the fight by your own means.
Who should I kill?
Humans didn't have a chance. With that, the humans will finally submit to my yoke.
Skills have 3 levels of rarity: ordinary, wicked, and demonic. When you obtain a skill for the 3rd time, the 3 fuse together and form a skill with the next level of rarity. Afterwards, you'll discover a skill with a higher rarity for the same disciple. Okay, so all of them will, let's just upgrade Dracula.
Take everything you can.
Choose a skill and equip it. Oh, right. Apply exhaustion, protection. Ooh. I think it might be good to have that. Alright, let's go to sticks. You can smell the noxious waters of the sticks even before you see the source. Click on Observe to learn more. You can only withdraw energy from the source one time. Your disciples assemble around the altar waiting your orders.
There's nothing like the vile waters of the Styx.
Alright. Move to the next zone. It's so cute.
Many humans lie dead among the roots of these trees.
Event. Main
I
activity.
quite like this place.
Main activity. Completing this activity unlocks access for the following zones. Choose a disciple to pass social tests and receive associated traits for the event. I might give it some... Oh, they want me to choose a headless horsehead, even though Mary's looked a little bit more better. Your disciples stumble upon a young man shooting at a straw target with a crossbow. He is startled when he notices them and points his weapon in their direction. You are... I recognize you. My master told me about you. You're the devil's emissaries. I almost said adversaries. I'm going to annihilate you and become the legend in my own time. I'll be the greatest demon hunter ever. Despite his boasting, the kid can barely hide the fact that he's shaking in his boots. You could almost feel sorry for him, but his naivety annoys you. There must be a way to use him to your advantage. Observe scene. Headless Horseman looks the kid up and down suspiciously. As events unfold, you will have to make choices that influence how the story progresses and the rewards you'll receive. Certain actions are social tests, and passing them depends on your disciple's characteristics. The actions that require a test have greater potential. Unless you cheat, take the risk of failing them. Go into demo mode.
I don't like this situation. Let's change it. I am irresistible. The dice were loaded from the start.
The Headless Horseman infiltrates the apprentice's mind to make his worst nightmares come true. A shadow creature begins crawling on the ground around him and over his skin. Anything goes when it comes to accomplishing my mission, even magic. And at my age, I'm very hard to impress. Congratulations. It's a soldier's duty to master all the weapons in his arsenal. Disciples sometimes react after some social tests, depending on their temper. Each disciple has more or less chances to react positively. A reaction can either only involve the disciple who just passed the test or a conversation with another member of the team. Reactions generate a trait for at least one of the participants, either positive or negative, depending on the reaction's nature. Livid with terror, the apprentice hunter tries to kill them, but they are only illusions, and he can't even touch them. Finally, he falls to his knees before your disciple. Have pity. Make them stop. I'll do whatever you want. He is at the Headless Horseman's mercy. What should he do with him? Headless Horseman explains to him that the only way to make the creatures disappear is by killing the other demon hunters he knows. Without a second's hesitation, the apprentice takes off running for the closest demon hunter refuge. It won't be long before the souls of those accursed upstarts are among your subjects.
Finally, fresh souls to torment.
Souls are used as currency to buy skills and relics from the Grim Reaper or have him increase the rarity of a skill you already possess. Traits are permanent and affects the social and combat characteristics of the disciple who obtains them. Your disciple can also receive negative traits when they fail social tests or show negative reactions during events. Negative traits can be purged in the Fountain of the Sticks. Open the spellbook. The main page of the spellbook shows you the current state of each of your disciples, including skills, combat, social characteristics, traits, and relics. Why is my controller not properly working? I don't understand. Turn to the second page of the spellbook. You know what? I'm just going to click on it because it's not working with the controller, obviously. On the second page, the spellbook shows you the relics you possess that are not linked to specific disciples and details your demonic powers. All your relics. Okay. Ooh, I can create a portal.
You shall not leave until all the mortals in this region have bowed down before me.
In a secret meeting place hidden from mortals, your disciples meet with the Grim Reaper. It is time to do some business.
Ah, a conductor of souls. All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
The Grim Reaper offers you skills and relics in exchange for souls. He can also increase the rarity of each skill you already possess, but to do so, he needs to keep this skill until the next time you meet. You can see how many souls you have. Yes. Oh.
Simple mortal trinkets. You'd better find a use for them.
Removes an enhancement, add one charge / turn to horseman statuses. Inflict. Ooh, by zombie. Transform something healing into damage. Yeah, let's do that. Fire relic. Even more than skills, relics are powerful assets to help you progress. Though they can be obtained from the Grim Reaper during certain events, the surest way to get them is by defeating elite adversaries. Is the game and everything going well, babe? One way to upgrade the rarity of a skill is to leave it with the Grim Reaper. The skill will the skill used will not be in your disciples' inventory anymore. You can find the remainder of that skill next to the minimap. The Grim Reaper will return an upgraded skill. Choose a skill. Yes. Yes. I'll keep Fairy Fang in order to augment its rarity and return it to you in the next meeting. What else would you like to say? Exchange for these souls. I can't go over that way yet. Ooh, we can get a sanctuary.
My disciples enter the Sanctualumen Sanctuary and determine that it has well and truly replaced the old religions. Priest and warrior monks trained to fight the creatures of the night. Vampires and werewolves rot in silver cages. My disciples swoop upon this new enemy, and soon lifeless bodies litter the sanctuary's floor. A handful of survivors are charged with spreading the word of my return. We then leave for the last known bastion of Van Helsing.
Dun dun dun.
My disciples
I already read it. Find Van Helsing in his last known dwelling place.
Their time is counted.
Oh, I can't go backwards. Well, shoot. I didn't know. Open the map.
If you want something done right, do it yourself. My power is absolute.
Gonna attack discreetly.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
Ah, it's the Inquisitor!
Who shall die tonight?
Hunger!
I shall reforge the world in my image. The dice were loaded from the start.
I'm parched. Who should I kill?
What game are we playing?
Who should I kill? Our duel is coming to its close. I'm parched.
This game is so
Another night.
adorable.
Another conquest. Souls rotted with vice.
I'm just gonna quickly see. Okay. Why is my... Let me just see if it's... Okay. Okay. My... I can't wait to get things going. Ooh, extra activity. Okay. As you enter the worm-eaten shack cemetery, your disciples notice something strange, a huge pile of corpses. As they come closer to examine the mystery, the gravedigger... Oh my god, did I just say that? The gravedigger calls out to them. If you're coming to drop off a body, walk right back out and put it in the common grave. With this damned white plague ravaging the countryside, I don't have any more space for new residents. And the worst part is, all of these plague-infested bodies don't rot. There has been some dark magic at work in there somewhere, I'm sure of it. I'll give anything to get rid of all these bodies. The gravedigger isn't joking when he says the cemetery is full. There are more tombstones than there are trees in the forest, and the graves are so full that each one forms a small burial mound. pile of corpses includes men and women, young and old, and it seems the epidemic spares no one. They're all as pale as ghosts, as if they had been drained of all their blood. That's why it's called the White Plague. Alright. The gravedigger looks nervously at your disciples.
I shall reforge the world in my image.
The gravedigger wasn't lying. The bodies look fresh as the day they died. Unknown magic dwells beneath their skin. You should be able to withdraw. Bloody Mary is waiting for your orders.
It's high time I interfered. The dice were loaded from the start.
Bloody Mary rips open the flesh to extract the heart from which the magic seems to emanate. She extracts as much magic as possible in order to create a demonic talisman of extraordinary power. Terrified by the spectacle he had just witnessed, the gravedigger flees the cemetery. Your disciple lets him escape. It's his reward for enabling the creation of the new relic.
To think that such a powerful relic was hidden in this rat hole.
Alright, the burden. When the status applied, the holder applies one additional charge. All combines are 2 spiritual damage. Each time the 3 disciples play a turn, plus 2 damage for the rest of them. Oh, that seems really good. Oh, I got that one. Magic makes me want to dance. Spells are extremely volatile weapons, but you did yourself proud. The ingenious plus Farouz max HP and spiritual points. Alright. Talented health points. Oh, right, alright. In a secret meeting place, hidden from mortals, your disciple meets with the Grim Reaper. It is time to do some business. As agreed, I infused your souls you gave me into the Fury Fang. Its strength has been greatly multiplied. The harvest was good. The skill Fury Fang now possesses a rarity, Wicked, as stipulated in our pact.
I am pleased with these offerings. Ah, a conductor of souls.
Ah,
All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use. I am pleased with these offerings. Take them.
Maybe clumsiness might be a good one to have.
With that, the humans will finally submit to my yoke.
Steal that. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think this one would be good. We're gonna be sneaky.
Heads will roll tonight.
What game are we playing? Who shall die tonight?
Who should I kill? I'll do likewise.
Okay, so now I can spiritually attack her. Ah, ah,
Who
ah.
should I kill?
Okay, I have 2 points, I think.
My power is invincible. Choose quickly. Evil will not spread by itself.
Mirror blades. Secret boots.
Hillocks and fields as far as the eye can see. This scene lacks chaos.
You can smell the noxious water of the 16 before you see the.
The sticks with the putrid corpses that
Alright. Haunted Mansion. You've reached the boss of the book. All you have to do is defeat it. Just like the red threads, there will never be a secondary activity. Just like red threads, there will never be secondary activities in these zones. A book will always end in the final comic, and each book has its own boss. I guess we're launching on the Haunted Mansion.
I guide my disciples to Van Helsing's lair. He is there, surrounded by his men. He is waiting for us. The news of my return does not seem to have shaken him. And so battle is engaged.
Dun dun dun.
Van Helsing. Finally we meet again. Prepare to suffer an eternity of torment, mortal.
Who shall die tonight?
Who should I kill?
I'm listening, Master.
of this vermin, disciples. If you want something done right, do it yourself. My power is absolute. I don't like this situation. Let's change it. I am irresistible.
Oh no, why didn't it not work? I think we're gonna die, guys.
Disciples are defeated. Van Helsing brushed them aside with the swipe of a hand. What a humiliation. The growing influence of the Sanctuary Lumen has sapped my strength. I order my... Interesting. I don't have many disciples left. The claw of Geryon, cut from the creature of the same name, drives out all inspiration from anyone who enters into contact with it. My disciples go to the home of a poet suffering from creative impotence. Apparently, this insignificant individual had received a visit from the Sanctua Lumen, an occurrence that immediately aroused our interest. Hoping to find here the point of departure in their quest for the Claw of Geryon, they enter the rundown hut and find a young man ferociously tearing up pages covered in crossings out. He unquestionably bears the mark of Geryon. He tells us how men of the Sanctua Lumen suddenly burst in, took the claw, and immediately left for the town of Perret. That is where my disciples will go.
Today seems to be one of those days where I drink nothing but water.
Fear my rage.
Terror. Terror effects appear in the zones on a line and depend on the type of the zone they affect. Each tower effect increases your terror gauge by 1 point. For every 4 points gained, you move up a notch in tower. Increase your chances of attaining wicked skills and receive a relic. Your influence is growing. The following effects will affect the zone situated in one night. Upon arrival in the zone, the devil receives 10 essence and max essence. Upon arrival in the zone, you will discover a trait from one you'll just... I think essence might be good. No, it... Oh, oh! Alright. Turns out it's all to follow me upon defeating this. Okay. little town in a quiet village. Every day it's a one before. Does it cost 20 souls? Or do I get 20 souls?
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
Alright.
Who should I kill? Hunger!
What game are we playing? Who shall die tonight?
I'm listening, Master.
Don't you throw your cards at me.
I'm listening, Master.
That's position to die.
What game are we playing?
Well, that was lame.
Who should I kill?
I'm listening, Master.
Go for spike.
No, I was having fun with you.
Feed in the darkness.
Who should I kill?
Who shall die tonight?
I'm listening, Master.
Humans are such frail creatures. Scream as loud as you
Okay,
can.
so
Condemn.
that's just me getting souls. Alright. Do I go backwards? No. Look at all the lettuce. Probably trees, but I'm gonna call them lettuce. Brown lettuce.
By dawn, these lands will be mine. There's nothing like the vile waters of the Styx.
Oh, that sucks. Can't double it up. Great, Stonehenge. Alright, main event. Physical damage 1 it gives me more health. It gives me more temptation. What the fuck is ruse? A murder of crows attracts your attention. As you get close, the birds fly away and reveal a half-devoured body of a man. The world has been getting kinder since you forced exile. The corpses of travelers aren't as numerous on the roads as they once were. Fortunately, you returned and things can start getting back to normal. Oh, let's search the body. Headless Horseman goes through his belongings that are covered with gelatinous and rank-smelling substance that makes them unusable. After a few minutes, the cypher starts to feel weak as the soda... He immediately steps away from the body and refuses to touch again. Better to let the crows finish their meal. Well, fuck. There's an event.
I hear the murmurs of the trees. They're fed up with humans. Let us answer their prayers.
As your disciple attacks the sanctuary, they discover that it's still under construction. It's an amazing opportunity to corrupt the foundations and cause major setbacks in the Sanctuary Lumen. Bloody Mary is ready to destroy.
It's high time I interfered. Reality is but a toy.
Yay! Success. Bloody Mary alters the sacred magic that protects the sanctuary so it contaminates all the souls touched by the light that enters its walls. The Sanctuary Lumen followers who attend the ceremonies here will be slowly contaminated by evil and will join your ranks without even realizing it.
Souls rotted with fire. An isolated camp. We'll teach its occupants to be afraid of the dark.
Your disciples arrive at a magnificent orchard, burdened with fruit. You feel their presence of a great number of corpses buried beneath the trees. That would explain their exceptional fecundity. The mortal imbeciles didn't even think about protecting the orchard. Dracula cannot wait to contaminate it. Pressure the dead souls to persecute the living. Bind the lost souls to the trees. Fuck!
The curse will pay for that.
Fucking Christ. You spoiled the whole thing. I hope you brought 6 feet underground. We'll see if it's so easy to challenge you when you're under my power. Oh, fucking Christ. I don't like negative traits. And I botched it. As your disciples approach, a pile of rocks seems to come alive. A set of glyphs written in blood form a symbol that your servants recognize easily, that of a sacrificial altar. This is the sacrificial altar. You can sacrifice one of your disciples' skills in exchange for the right to unlock one of their 2 locked skill slots. When you discover a skill with the same rarity as the ones sacrificed by your disciple. But choose well, because you can never again find a duplicate of a skill that has been sacrificed.
Sacrifice to dominate. Choose quickly. Evil will not spread by itself.
Apply depression. Oh. Monuments to glory about how to decorate the pattern in regular intervals. Cyber says that the forces of good have
No one stands against the Prince of Hell.
double the power and cost of the devil's powers. Damn it.
This town is repulsive. I'd love to watch it burn. My disciples enter Perret. They approach the main square, from where they can hear loud voices. Residents are shouting a name, hope etched on their faces. Caleb, Caleb. The Sanctua Lumen is there, and among them a man holding the claw of Geryon in his bare hand. He raises the claw, and the townsfolk go silent. With a sweeping movement, he brings the artifact down upon his arm. No blood flows from the deep gash. A respectful murmur is heard. The wound closes. He speaks. Serve the Sanctuary. I defile. I corrupt. I pervert.
Your influence is growing. The following effects will affect the zone situated in one night. Upon the arrival in this zone, you will receive 60 souls. After sacrificing a soul, you'll discover another with a higher rarity than the one sacrificed. Upon the arrival in this zone, you'll discover a trait of one of your disciples. Monuments and
Their time is counted. Finally, fresh souls to
A massive crowd is gathered in the courtyard of the woebegone mansion sanctuary. Priestesses are blessing the entire population of the village with purification ceremony. It's a part for others, pets of evil, but you have to be careful of the priestesses who are there to ensure the risk goes without a hitch. How this horseman blends in.
It's high time I interfered. My power is absolute.
This horseman creeps into the villager's mind and plants one simple order: eliminate all the priestesses. The crowd advances like a single body to carry out the order. Annihilating the miserable priestesses who have no chance against such a massive onslaught. We got 69 souls for that. The one, the heads I collect wear a grimace of terror. Ooh, next time you can do it in color. Blood screams! Adroit plus ruse. Ooh, she could make more playful. Ooh, psychic.
When I give, I get. With that, the humans will finally submit to my yoke.
That's a Grim Reaper. Well, he does have one of my skills, so.
No one stands against the Prince of Hell. I hear the murmurs of the trees. They're fed up with humans. Let us answer their prayers. The curse will pay for that. What a charming valley. My disciples will have to fix that.
So I can raise his HP. I can raise hers as well. Arriving at a circle of rites, your disciples encounter strange agitation. All the poor gathered in the town square. You quickly realize that Sanctuary Lumen has organized a soup kitchen. You know it's only a pretext for making themselves look good and indoctrinating new followers. You could turn this situation to your advantage by changing the soup to vinegar. If the Headless Horseman poisons the soup, you'll reap a great harvest of souls tonight. We could also provoke disturbance and force the Sanctuary to soar its true colors.
I don't like this situation. Let's change it. My power is absolute.
Headless Horseman causes a disturbance by telling the paupers at the end of the line that one of the ones at the front are planning to take all the soup and not leave a drop for them. A riot quickly erupts as the Sanctuary are forced to make an armed intervention. The Inquisitors isolate a few troublemakers and promptly execute them to set an example. The show of force throws a chill over the assembly. The scared and distrustful crowd drifts away. Accusations against the Sanctuary Lumen and their barbaric methods will begin to fly with sunrise the next day.
My influence is growing.
No essence is consumed for the first use of the devil's power. Upon arrival in the zone, the devil receives 10 essence and max essence. Upon arrival to the zone, you will receive 60 souls.
Scream as loud as you can, condemned souls.
He's imposing. Okay, so this one, double the diabolic essence cost of the devil's powers. Regenerate diabolic essence of purge. Alright, let's do this one.
The humans in these lands will learn what despair is. The waters of the Styx offer invincibility. I need more.
There is an elite in this zone. Elites are formidable adversaries with powers much greater than those of regular enemies. Defeating them earns you a relic.
I feel my strength increasing.
Diabolic essence enables you to use your powers and indicates your vitality. If you run out, you are defeated.
Let's get down to business. The devil is in the details. Reality is but a toy to me. The dice were loaded from the start.
I always aim for the head. I'm listening, Master.
feel my wrath? Next time, I'll choose more competent disciples.
This is
And
hard.
more active.
Okay, I think I'm gonna play some Saints Row, guys. I really do enjoy this game. I really want to play some more of it. I really, really do. I think I might make it into a series on the YouTubes. Also,